nothing but a hound dog.
You knew he was the king of rock and roll, but did you know Elvis Presley was also a special government agent? Early on the morning of December 21st, 1970, Elvis showed up at the White House unannounced. Fresh off a red-eye flight from Los Angeles, he passed a 6-page handwritten note to the guards at the Northwest Gate. In the letter, he expressed a desire to meet with President Nixon and become a federal agent at large in the fight against drugs. "I have no concern or motives other than helping the country out," he wrote. "All I need is the federal credentials." The visit was unexpected. When the letter landed on the desk of Bud Krogh, deputy assistant to the president, he initially thought the Elvis sighting was a practical joke. But after seeing Elvis in person, Krogh and White House colleague Dwight Chapin got to work. Since coming to office, the Nixon administration had made drug enforcement and rehabilitation a priority. In that respect, Elvis's visit was serendipitous. As Chapin wrote to White House Chief of Staff Bob Haldeman, if the president wants to meet with some bright young people outside of the government, Presley might be the perfect one to start with. Haldeman wrote back, "You must be kidding," but approved a meeting with Nixon. Krogh and Chapin hastily put together some talking points, which included a proposal that Elvis record a new album called Get High on Life at a federal drug facility. The White House then phoned over to the Hotel Washington, where Elvis had checked in under the alias John Burroughs. The meeting was on. Shortly after noon, the king of rock and roll was ushered into the Oval Office, dressed in a purple suit and sunglasses, but only after Secret Service agents took away a Colt .45 pistol he had brought as a gift for Nixon. The talking points quickly fell by the wayside, as Elvis was more interested in sharing a stack of personal photos with the president. When the conversation turned to narcotics, Presley stressed that he was on Nixon's side and claimed to have been studying drug culture and communist brainwashing. Then perhaps the main reason for the visit came out. "Mr. President, can you get me a badge from the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs?" When Nixon agreed, an excited Elvis hugged him. He was an avid collector of law enforcement paraphernalia, and a federal badge was a huge get. But was Elvis's surprise visit really all about his hobby? Maybe not. While he was vocal in his opposition to street drugs, Elvis was a heavy user and abuser of prescription opiates. He was also paranoid about his safety. According to his wife Priscilla, the narc badge represented some kind of ultimate power to him. In Elvis's mind, he could legally enter any country both wearing guns and carrying any drugs he wished. At Elvis's request, the White House kept his visit a secret, but a Washington Post reporter sniffed out the story in 1972. When the photos came out later, the public took notice. For years, this was the most requested photo in the entire collection of the National Archives. Just 2 icons of the 1970s hanging out in the Oval Office. That is, until you know the backstory. For more surprising stories from DC area history, check out our Boundary Stones playlist and subscribe to WETA PBS on YouTube.